So the first topic I want to talk about is that Matthew Vaughn was doing an interview for his movie Argo that's coming out. And the interview asked him, what would you direct a DC Elseworld movie? Because I think he said in an interview before this that he would consider directing Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow because he heard about Marley Cook being cast as Supergirl. And this is what his comment or what he said. I thought Red Sun was one of the cleverest comics I've ever read. In the current world we're living in, it's certainly becoming a lot more relevant because English causes more issues, and I think the more we learn about Western and the Western history, I need to talk about what his idea of the casting for that version of Superman would be. Wow, can you imagine we making Red Sun with Henry Cavill? That would be an interesting movie. Now, that is the one element of his comments that, look, if DC Warner Brothers said they would make, if they announced that Red Sun was going to be one of the upcoming Elseworld projects, because obviously James Gunn made it clear that, you're going to have your new DC universe that kicks off officially with Superman Legacy when it comes to the big kickoff point. And then you're going to have your Elseworld movies like the Matt Reeves Batman movies and the Joker sequel that's coming out. So they're still going to do Elseworld movies too. I think Superman Red Sun would be a great idea for an Elseworld movie. But the reason why I don't really like the idea of, like, if they announced they were doing that movie and if they announced Matthew Vaughn was going to direct it, the idea of having Henry Cavill play that version, I am not really a fan of that idea. It's no offense to Henry Cavill. Like, he wasn't one of my favorite Superman, but I also didn't think he was bad either. But the whole point of Red Sun, the whole idea of that story is that it's a great idea for its own movie. Like, I don't really want a Superman that's connected to a show or a past universe or a past film series. Like, I would want to see a different actor play that version of Superman Red Sun. Because, like I said, it's a great standalone movie. Not a version of Superman that I feel like would work when it comes to taking an actor that played the character before and having an actor that was connected to a universe. And also, the other point of Superman Son is that this is a storyline about him not growing up with Jonathan and Martha. He grew up with Russ of this version of Superman. And the version Henry Cavill played, Jonathan and Martha did raise him. And the whole point why Superman Red Sun is a darker storyline for Superman, why it's a great storyline in comics, is that you took away the Jonathan and Martha thing, which was the Fomentos, the thing that made Clark Kent this good, kind person. It was their moral values that taught him that. And Henry Cavill, like I said, it's just his version was a specific version connected to a whole universe. And that's the one element of Matthew Vaughn's piss that I wouldn't really be down for. Like, if you're gonna do a West Sun movie, I don't want to see Henry Cavill. I don't want to see the actual Superman Legacy playing that version of Superman. Like, I want it to be its own thing if you're gonna do a Superman Red Sun movie, not a version of Superman that was connected to a universe. But when it comes to the idea, if they said Matthew Vaughn was directing it, I was definitely be down for him directing it because he did X-Men First Class, First Kick-Ass, and the First Kids movie. So all three great comic book movies that I love. And I think he's just a great director. So I would be down. It's just not the element of, like, Henry Cavill, playing that version of Superman. That's a part of his piss that I personally just wouldn't have any interest in. But like I said, I would love the idea of just having a Superman Red Sun movie with a different actor playing Superman and him directing. If that happens someday. The next thing I want to talk about is the news. Excuse me, not news, but there's been an update on the Buffy Vampire Slayer revival reboot. And it's come from a very unusual place. It's actually a little trivia about the Buffy and Angel show that I didn't know about. And I love the Buffy Vampire Slayer show. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I wasn't a fan of the original movie. I thought the movie sucked. And I love the Angel show, the spinoff. But it's come from Dolly Parton, the country music singer. And the reason I think this is funny is because she was apparently an uncredited producer on the Buffy Vampire Slayer show and the Angel show, which I never knew that. So this is what she said. A lot of my work was done just conversation back and forth with the business people there. I had to give more people more credit on Buffy the Vampire Slayer than me. A lot of people did so much sweat on that. That little show did great. They're still working on it, and they're thinking about bringing it back and revamping it. And I know there was talks of doing a Buffy Vampire Slayer, like a new movie a while ago. And it sounds like it wouldn't be that version that was being talked about a while ago. Like she said, it would be From what she's saying, it would be a new revamp from what the version they were talking about a while ago. And I think that would be a great idea to do like a new modern update of the Buffy Vampire Slayer movie. Because like I said, it was a movie I thought sucked. The show was fantastic though. And I also think it would be good because look, Buffy's a popular character. I mean, they're still doing comics. It's a continuation of the Buffy show. They're still doing comics of Angel, which is a continuation of that show too. And I think when people think of Buffy, they think of Samuel Show Gullah. I know, like when I think of Buffy, I think of hell, not the again. No offense to the original movie. Every movie has its fans, but that movie didn't do well, and it's not. It's personally for me, it didn't work for me. When I think of Buffy, I think of Samuel Shogun. Now, obviously, it would be tough to like find somebody that is good as Samuel Shogun was in the role. Like she made that character iconic. Like to me, Buffy is one of the most when it comes to Samuel Shogun as a character. That was one of the badass, best female characters ever created in a TV show. Now, obviously, you had the movie, but I think Samuel Shogun was the one that, in my opinion, really just made like the character compelling, and the way the lore was done in the show was done so much better than the way it was done in the original movie. So, like I said, I think there's definitely a way you could like do a modern update of the world and the character. And I'm also somebody who always says this: look, I don't really care whether you do a revival, a reboot, or remake, a prequel of any old show or movie. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, is that it gets people to go watch the old one, the old show or movie. But it also, if it ends up sucking, I still have the Buffy TV show. You know, and if someone can come along and if somebody came along and said they had like a great fresh idea, a way to really like do something new and different, a cool interpretation of an old show or movie, then cool. Because you know what, I might not get enough fun or great movie out of it. And like I said before, if it ends up sucking a new Buffy movie, if it ever happens, then I still have the Buffy show. So personally for me, I would be down for this. I think this is one of those ones you could do like I said, an updated, modern, fresh interpretation of the world and characters. The next thing I want to talk about is James Gunn. James Gunn said that there's going to be two DC projects that are going to enter production soon. Now, obviously, we know the four that were announced. I don't remember all the TV shows, but film-wise, we know the four that were announced. So I'm just going to talk about the film side because my guess is that if I had to think of like two other films that are going into production, you have four choices, obviously. You have The Authority, which doesn't have a cast, doesn't have a director. I know there's reports going around that one of them, well, all the characters are going to appear in Superman Legacy. I haven't heard anything about that being official, though. I mean, if there is something if it was officially confirmed that they all going to have one of the authority characters in Superman Legacy, then let me know in the comics. I haven't heard anything about it being official. I've seen reports saying that, but nothing official. Then you have Swamp Thing, was going to be directed by James Mangold, who did Logan, a new Indiana Jones movie. So that movie has a director. It hasn't cast anybody yet, though. Then you have the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie, which just cast the new Supergirl with Millie Ali Cook, but it doesn't have a director. And you have Batman: The Brave and the Bold, which is going to be directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed the Flash movie, but they haven't cast for that movie yet. So my guess, I don't think The Authority is one of the movies because, like that movie, like I said, that movie doesn't have a cast or director yet. So I feel like they're still a way off from doing that movie, from like something production on that movie. So my guess would be one of the two would be Supergirl because you did cast the lead character. Now the one thing with that is that they don't have a director for that movie yet. So, but I'm gonna guess that's one of the two. The other one I would guess is probably Batman Brave and the Bold because you do have a director for that with the Flash director. He's one of the most popular characters. You have the Holy Trinity in DC. You have Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and I can see them starting off a DC universe with Batman being one of the earlier movies to start off with. Swamp Thing, you do have a director, but he's not as popular as Batman. So my guess would be Batman, Brave and the Bold, and Supergirl are the two movies that are going to be going to production soon. Now, now I could swap Supergirl with Swamp Thing because again, Supergirl doesn't have a director though. Swamp Thing does, so that's the one thing there. But I think Thor Authority is the one movie that I don't see it and being one of the two that's entering production soon. The last topic I'm going to talk about is the fact that Beetlejuice announced its title. Now, when it comes to titles for movies, I'm not really somebody who cares about the title for a movie. A title for a movie is just a title. It's like a poster. You can have a poster, you can have a bad poster for a movie, but at the end of the day, when you watch the movie, a bad poster or a bad title or a great title or a great poster, that doesn't affect the quality of the movie. When the actual, like, how you feel about the actual movie. Like, for example, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Look, the third Conjuring movie had a long title. It wasn't the greatest title in the world. It was too long, but even if you gave that movie a better title, my feelings on that movie would still be the same, which is that I enjoyed it, not great or terrible. So, to me, a title doesn't really mean anything about the quality of the movie. It's not going to, like, affect how good the movie's going to be or how bad the movie's going to be. So, but the title has been revealed to be Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And I know a lot of people hate this title. And look, I'll say this: it's not the most creative title. I definitely understand people are not liking the title. I mean, the two things I would say about the title is that it does make sense for two reasons. That calling it Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, using his name twice in the title. I mean, it is a Beetlejuice sequel, so it makes sense with that, and the fact that the whole thing in the original Beetlejuice movie is that you can't say his name three times. So it does kind of play on the idea of the character in the movie when it comes to the title for the new movie is that they only have his name twice, but you can't say it three times. So it does kind of play with the idea of the Beetlejuice character in the original movie. So I do kind of like that. And like I said, look, it's the title. I can totally understand why a lot of people don't like the title. I don't have really any feelings one way towards another. Like I said, I'm somebody that a title doesn't really get me excited for a movie, and it doesn't get me less excited for a movie. It's the same with a poster. Poster doesn't get me less or more excited for a movie. So honestly, I'm perfectly fine with the title being called Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Like it doesn't personally bother me. And like I said, I can totally understand why people don't like the title. It's not, and like I said, it's not the most creative title in the world. But I'm somebody that's kind of like it's just a title. What's going to get me excited for this movie is a trailer. You know what what what's gonna what they show in the trailer. What gets me excited for a movie is the casting, directing choice. The title is like I said, it's like a poster. It doesn't personally for me. I don't really care about a movie having a bad title, a good title, a great title. I don't really care. So that's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.